Winter is just the perfect time to be inside. As the days are shorter and chilly, it's definitely a great opportunity to really appreciate and savor the time that we get inside. I'm definitely grateful to be inside with a warm fire. Today I'm going to be sharing some homemaking, some winter homemaking that I've been doing over the last few days, and just some baking, some cleaning, and just enjoying some time at home, doing things that bring life to my home, care for my home and my family. I hope you enjoy this video. I am just starting off this morning with a fire in our wood stove. We really enjoy having a fire in our wood stove in the winter especially. We don't do it all the time, but when we do, it is super cozy, and I just really love the soft glow that it provides into the living room, especially first thing in the morning. I do also enjoy burning candles. This one is from Antique Candle Company, and I was really excited to get to try their scents when they were running a sale recently. I definitely recommend them. I am starting off by making some cookies. These are chocolate chip cookies, and while chocolate chip is pretty much a run-of-the-mill cookie, I will say every time that I make these, people always ask for the recipe, so these are definitely winners. I'm starting by mixing up the sugars. So I have 1 cup of white sugar. I just use organic cane sugar from Costco, and then a 1/2 cup of brown sugar. Next, I am adding 2 sticks of melted but cooled butter. This recipe is from I Heart Eating, and I generally will double it. The yield is supposed to be 24 cookies, but I usually get about 36 when I double it. I'm adding in the vanilla here. It calls for 4 teaspoons of vanilla and then 2 eggs. You'll find my measurements might be a little off because I tend to just eyeball this recipe since I've made it so many times, and they always seem to turn out pretty good. Here I'm adding about 3.5 cups of flour and 1 teaspoon of baking soda, along with 1 teaspoon of salt. I like to use Redmond's real salt. And like I said, I kind of just get a good look and feel of the dough, and then I know if I need more flour. And here I'm adding some more because it's still a little bit too sticky for my preference. I'm sure you can still make it like this, but adding more flour is just how I prefer them. Next, I'm adding about a cup and a half-ish of chocolate chips. Doubling this recipe would call for 2 cups, but I find that a cup-ish works just fine. I really love to line my baking sheets with parchment. I'm sure this is not a new hack or anything, but I really like that the cleanup is pretty easy. Cookies don't really make a huge mess, but still. And here is the final result. These are delicious. We do need to tend to our wood stove throughout the day to keep it going. When we were first married, I wasn't at home that much because I did work full-time, but when I was home with the wood stove, it was not uncommon for me to accidentally let it die. I've gotten a lot better at keeping it alive. It is time to address this cupboard. It has been a hot mess for too long, and I feel like every time I open it up, something comes flying out. So we are going to address this mess today. I'm starting by taking everything out because I find that that is just the easiest thing, at least for my brain. I like to take everything out of a space and put it into a different space. In this case, it's our dining table. And this way I can just see everything that I'm working with and determine what needs to go and what can stay. We have a pretty small house, and I really am trying to be a lot better at being super intentional with what comes in and what we keep. So after this project, I was able to get rid of a lot of mugs, which was great. I still have some ways to go though, because I don't even really drink hot beverages, and obviously a lot of these mugs are mine. And my husband uses the same mug every single day. Something that has worked really well for organizing this cabinet has been these small baskets. I got several of these from Dollar Tree a couple of years ago, and that large gray one I believe I got at Burlington or TJ Maxx. They're just really great for holding lids. We are gradually trying to make swaps to all glass food storage. Right now we still do have quite a bit of plastic, but as we have the opportunity and the resources, we are trying to make these swaps. Pretty recently, I was able to find a 4-pack of glass Anchor Hawking containers. They're the small round ones. The lids are over there in that stack with the orange lid. But it was a 4-pack for only $8 at TJ Maxx, and I thought that was a really great deal, so I definitely picked up that. And I found others on sale or at TJ Maxx. TJ Maxx is honestly the best place that I like to look for these, because they are pretty affordable and they do have a lot of different sizes. I'm wiping down the cabinets with Azure Standard's all-purpose cleaner. I really love this cleaner. I usually will get it in the gallon size and then just refill the spray bottle that I have from the very first time that I bought it, because I just wanted to try it out. So here's everything put back into the cabinet. It might still look a little bit full, but I know that at least it is organized and some things have been removed that we don't need anymore, and I don't have to fear anything falling out anymore. I recently received my first Azure order that contained wheat berries. So my husband and I got some 5-gallon food grade buckets at Tractor Supply, and I went ahead and started to fill up the buckets. While I don't have my grain mill yet, I have ordered one, and it is due to be here in just a couple of months. I've been waiting quite a while for it, so I figured I should go ahead and get the grain and store it to make sure that I had it ready for when my grain mill does arrive. I purchased hard red wheat and hard white wheat. I also ordered soft white wheat, but unfortunately it was not in stock, so I did not get that one this time around, but I will be sure to add it to my next order. I am making pizza for our dinner this evening, and this is my absolute favorite homemade pizza recipe. It comes from the book Hope's Table, which I definitely recommend. It's a Mennonite cookbook, and it just has so many great, hearty, pretty healthy meals in it that I just go to time and time again. I won't share the particulars of this recipe since it is in a cookbook, but I highly encourage you to purchase this cookbook if you don't already have it, because it is just such a great one. This pizza dough is just so good. Honestly, I really prefer making my pizza from home instead of getting it somewhere. Even at my most favorite pizza place, this is just, in my opinion, it's just so much better. My husband and I both really love it, and I've even made it for some friends and they really love it too. I started this YouTube channel after many years of really wanting to start one but just never doing it, and my husband really encouraged me to just go ahead and go for it. I really enjoy watching other homemaking videos, especially natural living, intentional living, intentional motherhood, Christian homemaking type of videos, and that is the type of video that I want to create as well. And I am really excited to embark on this new journey. Ever since I got married several years ago, I have gradually been working towards learning new skills and caring for our home and our family. I am home 100% now, and I'm definitely still getting used to the rhythm. I've worked full time, I've worked part time, and now I'm just home. And I am so grateful that I get to be home. When I first started making this pizza dough, I would always use a second bowl as my grease bowl for it when it was rising. And then my friend told me, just use the same bowl. And goodness, that has cut down on the dishes. The flour I'm currently using is this all-purpose organic unbleached flour from Costco. I find that it is pretty much the most affordable option as far as organic flour goes. In our sandwich loaves, I have been using some hard red wheat from Azure Standard. It is organic bread flour, but I've been using that or whatever kind of wheat flour I have on hand just to get us used to whole grains. It's not exactly the same, but we are working towards having 100% whole grain bread. I'm refilling my yeast here. I would love to get into sourdough at some point. In fact, it is on my list, but for now I am making yeast bread. This is the yeast that I buy. I get it off of Amazon. I find that it's the cheapest way to get the yeast that I found. If you have another way, please let me know. I'd love to find out. Something that I like to do is just take a piece of Scotch tape and put it on a container, and then take a Sharpie and write on the Scotch tape what is inside of the container. I'm sure someone else has thought of this too, but I think this is a really easy way to label things. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video as I did some winter homemaking. I hope that you will subscribe and stay tuned for the next video. Bye!